is cool.
You find, I think it's like 6.7 degrees Celsius. What do you think? Yeah, it's a gift.
6.72.
6 point, oh, there's always one. However, porters came first, and as they became more full-bodied, they did earn their own right as their own genre of beer, and that is a stout beer. We would argue that Guinness perfected this, but it wasn't Arthur Guinness, because Arthur Guinness technically did not brew stout. He brewed porter, and even before that, he brewed ale. So when the brewery opened here in 1759, Arthur Guinness was brewing an ale, a traditional Irish red, very similar to a Smithwick's style. That's the most popular form of beer of the day. Arthur was a smart man though, and we know he wasn't afraid to take a risk. He did sign the lease for 9,000 years on the brewery site here, so he had intentions of making his mark. He noticed the beer was exploding in popularity. This was around the 1770s, and it was from England, specifically London. And the beer actually was so associated with one social class that it actually adopted their name. It was the beer of choice for the London porters. So this is essentially a style of ale, using a darker malt, maybe a bit of roast or burnt barley for color, for flavor. But Arthur Guinness didn't invent it. We would just argue that he perfected it. So Arthur brewed porter and ale then for about 20 more years. And it was on April 1st, 1799 that he made the most important decision in the history of this brewery. He wrote in his brewer's diary, "Today we brew the last ale," and decided to no longer brew ale and focus on porter from then on in. And this is key because there were 200 breweries in Ireland, 70 breweries in Dublin, and 20 breweries on this street alone. And they were all brewing ale, pretty much the same style. He stood out. He was brewing something different. That is the reason why we're here today, and all of those other breweries are not. So, we're going to taste what his Guinness would have tasted like at that time. Again, this is not from 1796. It's just a recipe from 1796. It is a bit fresher than that. But some of the key things you'll note about Dublin Porter, as was typical, this is lower in alcohol strength. Now, at the time, the water was not safe to drink untreated. It was a risk. So beer was part of daily life. So the first part of the pour, my goal is to pour to the widest part of that tulip glass. Let the gases rise up and the head will form right around this band here. And then once it's settled and the head is knit together a little more stable, then I'm just going to move it up to the top and position it proud of the rim. So when you're using a correctly branded glass, you don't have to guess where to stop pouring. It lines up with the top of the gold harp. So right above our Guinness name, gold harp, just line it up with the top of that. You're hitting the perfect spot of the glass every time. Do not let the spout go in the stout. So keep telling yourself that when you're up here. So first, lined up 45 degrees, quick pull, all the way. No hesitation, okay? It's got to come out with speed and pressure. As the pint fills, slowly straighten up. Top of the gold harp, stop. And we're going to put it down to settle. So we do always have pints up on settling racks or in places of pride at the bar, so you can watch your pint settle. Now, you'll see it can feel like a long time, but in actual fact, it takes less than 2 minutes to pour and serve a perfect Guinness. 119 and a half seconds. So it's straight on, again, no dipping. push the top away this time. So it's just a gentle push. You time it so your Guinness is proud of the rim without spilling a single drop, of course. You want to serve it with your Guinness pointed out. Yeah, that's a beauty. I have to say, it's not too bad. But the secret every Guinness draft drinker knows is you do drink the head of the beer, but you drink it last. So that needs to end up in the bottom of your glass, and that's how you finish your pint. So it means actually the technique for drinking it is to bring that glass up to your lip. Your elbow just kind of naturally does this. Trap the head here and drink the dark stuff through it. Okay? So allow me. So bring it right up here.
Chug, chug, chug.
And now stash, okay? That's a badge of honor.
Pour it now, stop.
Well, put on top of the heart.
Well, because you gotta straighten it out.
Put it on,
Straighten it out.
what?
No,
Don't you dip it.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
sit there.
Wow, yeah, it's like right off the glass, like right there.
Ready?
Oh boy.
Oh, your dad's.
Get ambitious.
Good pour there.
Good job, honey. Thank you.
Okay.
I guess I'll top mine off next.
You're welcome.
Is it ready?
Mine's not ready yet.